G'day legends and welcome to the cave. First of all, if you are one of my subscribed legends, chuck a like up as always, so help spread this around. And if you want to be a legend, purely just subscribe and then you're a legend automatically. That's what happens here. All right, before we get started, my wife has said that I have to show you guys something, but I'm not going to show you straight away. You have to guess what I'm sitting on, and I know that sounds like an interesting question to answer, but I'm not sitting on a regular chair. And she thought it was very funny when she came. I brought her in to say, "Hey, look at my little office I've made out here, little cave." And she said, "Are you seriously sitting on that? Is that what you're sitting on?" She said, "You've got to show your people in your videos." So I'm not going to show you this video. I'm going to leave it at. But just write in the comments what you think I might be sitting on using as a chair from what you've started to maybe piece together about me over the last period that you've been watching me. All right, let's get on to some crypto. All right, as you may have realized, if you're a person that checks your bubbles daily or your portfolio daily, your crypto would have been down this morning when you got out of bed if you're an Aussie. So we're a different time zone to most other people. But the American markets opened and basically we started to tank. And there's a few reasons, but one of the reasons is that Trump got on TV and Elon got on Twitter, and the two of them aren't getting along at the moment anymore. If you haven't realised that. I don't watch the normal news very much anymore, so only if it pertains to crypto do I actually know about it generally. But so what's happened is Trump's big beautiful bill, the tax cut bill over there, Elon doesn't like it, hates it. So Elon was tweeting while he was on TV, or just as he was coming off of the TV. And so Trump was asked about Elon and him falling out, and he was, for Trump, he tiptoed around a bit. He's pretty pointed normally. I usually think he's a bit rude. As much as he's been good for crypto, and I certainly thought he would be better for crypto than Biden. Or that other one, but yeah, he certainly has a habit of being rude. Now Elon was then so Trump was asked about it. He tiptoed around. He said that they had been getting along, and that Elon had seen this bill before he left. Now Elon left last week. He left the government, left the Doge thing he was doing. It failed essentially. From what I understand. Now, just remembering, I'm not an American, so I'm not getting into their politics or anything. I'm just bringing you the news as I see it, and as it pertains to us trying to make money in crypto and or stocks if you're in stocks. All right. Elon was tweeting that Trump would have lost the election without him. I'm not going word for word on what he said. And he called him ingrateful. He called him ingrateful, not ungrateful. He just called him, it was very ingrateful. Another headline that came out recently after these tweets from Trump's side, this was on the CNBC site, so I just took it off the title. Trump said Musk went crazy, suggesting cutting government contracts for his companies. So that's something that Trump must have disagreed with Elon on, or that Elon has brought up, supposedly. All of this is, of course, we have no real idea what happens behind closed doors. So all of this, I take everything they say as with a grain of salt. As I say before, with all your politicians, to me, it's just a monkeys flinging poo at each other show. That's what especially Australian politics. They're even worse. At least you guys get stuff done in America. We don't get much done over here because they're all flinging poo at each other and no one gets anything done. All right. So that's essentially what brought a lot of the market down was Trump and Elon feuding, and because of that, if you're into stocks, Tesla has plummeted quite severely, I believe, and also Dogecoin. So, of course, Elon is known for being associated with Dogecoin. That has taken a pretty big hit. I'm still learning my leverage trading in that. I'm looking at shorting it. I'm just not super confident on all that stuff yet. I've just been doing little practice ones for $20, $25, and seeing if I win. Got liquidated for the first time yesterday. You'd think putting a short on yesterday night would have been safe. I've looked just before I got on this video. Today there is 5 coins in the green in the top 100, and the biggest one is Fart Coin, so the meme coin. And that is the only one out of my watch list that would have got it wrong on shorting, and I got liquidated my $20 position, which it doesn't really matter, but because I'm practicing. But I was just so surprised when I got up this morning and I got messages saying I was getting liquidated. I'm like, really? Everything else is red as, and it's gone up 17%. So well done to people buying Fartcoin. All right, another thing that has come out bad: jobless numbers in America. They were $5,000. 5,000 jobs more lost than predicted. The prediction was 235,000, and it came in at 240,000. Every little thing like that, I'm not calling people losing their jobs little, but everything pertaining to your money, your crypto, your stocks, that comes in like that, where it doesn't come in where it's supposed to, where they predicted. If it goes over and that's bad, the markets go down. If it goes under and that's bad, the markets go down, and vice versa. If it goes over and that's good, depending on what it is, but obviously. So just that's one that came out bad. And here's the one that I really think has spooked the markets a little bit, and it's to do, of course, with our tariff news. We all love our tariff news. I love my tariff news. It's like a cheese grater to the face. Trump and Xi Jinping, the Chinese president, have had an early phone call. Now you go, well, what is that? What does that matter, mate? We want them to talk. We want them to get the tariffs over. Yeah, but everything they do is scripted. Everything they do is on timelines where, and so if Trump and him said they were supposed to do it like tomorrow, I think, in the next 24 hours, and they did it last night, the markets goes into panic mode going, well, what does that mean? Is something bad? Is something broken? Has something actually happened that they had to call each other early and go, hey, we need to actually get this part sorted out? As I've said before, I believe they'll get this all sorted out, and I believe everything they do on TV, the news, all that stuff, social media, is yet again monkeys flinging poo. It is just to make sure that the American people think Trump is strong and won't give in to China, and the Chinese people think that their president is strong and won't give in. And so they both have a secret conversation going, look, all right, we're going to get this stuff done, right? I'm going to come out and say this, this, and this. You come out and say whatever you've got to say. We both save face, and then we'll get it done. And, they'll slap each other on the back, laugh about it, shake hands, and it'll all be over. That will happen soon, because I believe Trump is going to China. And the only reason to go to China is to shake hands and say, we've got it done, tariffs are over, the world's a better place because of the two of us. All right? So that's what has scared the market, in my opinion, is the fact that these two powerhouse presidents called each other, and it wasn't, a scripted call that people knew about. It's looking more and more like there might not be a rate cut in America in June. Just lots of those little indicator things are coming out, not looking as bullish for getting a rate cut, which I was counting on, and I've always said there would be one then, but as I've always said, if you guys are watching me, I'm just some guy on the internet giving an opinion. It's never financial advice, so just do your own research. But yeah, I certainly hope we do get a rate cut there, because that will be the start of some the financial easing. All right, so I'll just go over what our Bitcoin and ETH prices were this morning. Well, Bitcoin dropped to 100,532. It's now sitting back up at 103,225. Big scare, a little bit of a pullback. It's still in a range. That's okay. It didn't go under 100,000, and even if it did, 97,000 is fine, in my opinion. Just an opinion, remember. I believe that's roughly where the 200-day moving average is, which is something when you're doing charting, you want to stay above that. If the other moving day indicators, like the 50-day, if that goes back down through it, that's when we start to get a problem. But yeah, it seems okay. All right. And Ethereum went from 2,638 down to 2,402. So basically 2,400, now $60 further up than that. So it has not recovered as of yet, basically. Yeah, that is the end of our news that I've collected so far. There is one other thing. Now, for anyone that is getting more and more into your crypto, I have a mentor as far as my leverage trading, going into all that stuff. I actually have a person who does it as a professional job. They are now my mentor. Basically I text them, and he doesn't do texting. And as soon as I text, basically, because he does this 7 days a week, depending on what the trading is like, he's got his stuff set and he'll call me. And so it's hard to get out of the phone call without about at least 45 minutes worth of information from him. He is fantastic. This is a man that I barely know. I've told him that I've started telling everyone he's my mentor, and he mentors multiple people. He just does a one-on-one mentor these days. But he has given me another tool. So I like to hand on all these free tools to you guys. This one is a fair bit more towards... So it's not for newbies. Obviously, my channel is for newbies. I give the news and what I learn in a very basic way. This can still be used by you, but if you're a newbie and you're not so sure about it, just it's a website called cryptocraft.com, and if you go into, I'm doing this off the top of my head, basically there's a calendar there, and if you go into the calendar and you go into, you'll see, so if you click on this week, which is what I've done, it shows up everything that's going to happen that could affect crypto that week. So we're talking, it shows up the FOMC, exactly the time, and he said to me, it'll count down to the second when that is. So you can sit there and watch, and you can see when, say, there's supposed to be jobs data come out. It'll tell you instantly what the jobs data was, and it either has the number in red or green, so you know whether it was good or bad. Bad might move the market down, good might move it up, depending on what it is. And so you go in, there's a filter there, you unclick all the ones that are orange, yellow, grey, any colour but red. Red are the ones that are the really important ones. I might do a video on it, I'll screenshot it and do it for you guys. But yeah, just letting you know, if you're getting to the point where, like me, where you're going, I'm going to start doing some leverage trading, or I want to really watch the charts and that a bit before I buy big, large positions, spot positions, so just buying crypto. That's a fantastic tool, because like a lot of you guys are getting your news, people will be getting news from me, and I'm getting my news off of websites and from other YouTube and stuff like that while I'm working, and then I sit down and condense it down. So by the time it gets to you, it might be 24 hours old. So that's a lagging, you've got lagging indicators, which is fine if you're just a mum and pop investor and you just need to know roughly what's going on and you're doing long-term stuff. That's cool. But this is more for the people who want to know within, an hour, all that type of thing. Very good website. Combine it in with the other stuff you're doing. And then, of course, come back and tell me if you love it, All right, that'll do us for today. I had a couple people, like, you can't really see them, I'll move around. I got told I had no fishing rods, and I've done videos where I'm fishing over the years, where I've done a 1 minute video or whatever, and I'm actually out having a beer and fishing at the same time. So people knew it. I think it was Luke Armstrong. He said you haven't got any of your fishing rods in the back. Now the fishing rods behind me, you can't see them now. They are my antique ones. I do collect a few antique rods. One's from my grandfather when he graduated from school at 18. He got a fishing rod as his graduation present. So I have it here. It's a fantastic old rod. I used to use it, but I've now put it into retirement because I don't want to wreck it. And I had someone else, Peeler, I believe, off the top of my head. He said I didn't have enough Collingwood gear. He was worried I was waiting to see if we win the grand final. I did point out to him Collingwood gear, mainly given the hat I bought because I needed a new hat. You guys have seen the hats I wear. A lot of them for out in the sun and that, but in winter I thought I'd get myself a nicer hat. $12 at Kmart, so I didn't overspend there. But all the other t-shirts and jackets you see, people give them to me because I'm supposedly hard to buy for because I'm a pretty self-content person. So they just buy me Collingwood gear constantly. So I've chucked up. There's a little Collingwood model. Who's that one? That's Jamie Elliott over there. And up this side, way up the top. Oh, where's my finger gone? I've lost it. Up there, that's Dane Swan. So anyone, that's a good 10 years old, that one. Dane Swan was my favourite player back in the day. He was very lazy, but good and covered in tattoos. So it was just funny. Anyway, have a great day. Remember to tell me what you think I'm sitting on, using as a chair. Do something nice for someone else. Part of why I do these videos for you guys is to just help out. So pass it on. Do something you're good at for other people. Bake some cookies, whatever. Take a 6-pack around to your mates. Crypto Bogan out.